Hey folks, how y'all doing? Happy Monday here from Mallett Building. We got a good show for you today. Let's get this thing started. All right, like every week, we like to start out with your $500 discount to military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people looking for a building, make sure you grab a hold of this $500, folks. It's real. We're proud of that. We give it away to all these people. So get yours this week. All right, Tiger Cash. If you're looking for a signature on an elite building, type in cash to one of our live shows just like this one, and you can get an extra $1,000 off. I think you ought to take advantage of it, especially when you see some of these specials we got. Okay, we got something new. So we've been talking about the referral program and how we give $200. If you know somebody that's looking for a building and you send them over to Mallett and they end up buying a building, we give you $200. Well, we're increasing that. So as the year goes on or month goes on, if you're real overachiever, like Renee behind the scenes over here, then you might be one of these people. So if you send us 10 people, we'll cook a nice steak for you, probably stay at the Calistoga Ranch, got a cabin, got fishing for kids, you can stay for the weekend, okay? More to come on that, but that's what this is about. And I know Lee's gonna wanna go over it more depth. We'll give you some better pictures, but this is new rolling out this week. So basically, you know, you send one person, we're gonna give you $200. And over time, if you know a certain amount of time, if you send 10 people, you know you get the all-inclusive family getaway. And we'll show you. I mean, you're fishing every time you drop a line in a pond, you catch fish at this place. So it's a beautiful place. Enjoy a nice meal and have fun fishing. Okay, so that's it. Oh, we got a picture. Here's one of the cabins, and right out here is a lake. So this is where you would be staying, and we'll get some more pictures maybe of the lake and some fish and stuff like that. But here you go. We got a brand new building out this week on special, folks. Don't get any better than this. You got a 30 by 40 by 12 for $25,999. That's $21.67 a square foot, folks. With the rise in the tariffs and the steel and wood and everything kind of went up. I mean, this price right here is phenomenal. I'm telling you, you're not going to beat it. Why is that? Why? Because our competitor's best building can't match our value building. That's what this is. This is a value building, but don't let the name value building scare you off. This is the best building in the industry, folks. Way better than our competitors, what they say the best. Not our best. It's just the best in the industry, okay? So you got I'll go over one more time. A 30 by 40 by 12 for $25,999. That's $21.67 a square foot. You got a 30 by 60 by 12 for $35,999. That's $19.99 a square foot, folks. You got a 40 by 80 by 12 for $63,999. That's $19.99 a square foot. And remember, you get one 10 by 10 roll-up door, one walk-through door, 4-year workmanship warranty on the value. This is 130 mile an hour wind rating. 26 gauge metal is standard on our value now. Our competitors are going to give you 29 gauge. Remember that. You get scissor truss standard on the value building here at Mallett. Our competitors just don't do that, folks. They're going to give you a common truss. Usually the inner core is going to be 2x4. This is a 2x6 MCA, #1 MCA treated truss, okay? And it's a scissors truss. So that's standard on all of our value buildings. And also, something that our competitors just don't do is a 4,000 PSI concrete. They can do it, they don't do it. Why? Because it costs more. So they're going to give you probably 3,000. It's standard here. Our concrete is 4,000 PSI, okay? In this building, you're going to get a 4-inch concrete. Now, also must remember that we add microfiber to the concrete. That's worth another $10 a yard, okay? What's microfiber? Remember I told you that's going to add for the whole volume of your concrete, where our competitors are going to put that wire mesh, that rusty wire mesh that hopefully if the concrete's too wet, more than likely it's going to sink to the bottom. So be careful of that, folks. But this is the value building. And also, remember, cable retention system, something our competitors just don't do. Superior locks in all the posts, helps tremendously with the uplift protection. In hurricane season, we're going to need some uplift protection. Hopefully they won't come to us. So that cable retention system, just something our competitors don't do. And then lastly, concrete under every hole, or in every hole under the post. Something our competitors just don't do, folks. I mean, it costs money. That's probably why they don't do it, but we do it standard here at Mallett. Anyway, so that's our value building. All right, so the Mallett signature building, you get in the signature, when you jump from the value to the signature, you're going to go to a 2x8 scissor truss, 5-on-12 roof pitch, 26 gauge metal standard on all buildings, roof and wall insulation on the signature building, and I can assure you that that single bubble makes all the difference in the world when you put it in there. So if you get the value building, one of them specials, I would suggest you add at minimum the insulation, okay? So you still get the 4,000 PSI, the 4-inch, you get two 10x10 roll-up doors on this one. This building comes with a 6-year workmanship warranty, folks. Of course, everything else that the value building came with, okay? So then you get to the Mallett building, okay? Best in the business, no questions asked. Everybody likes to say that they build a Mallett building, and they just don't do it. But like I said, all of our buildings, #1, kiln dry treated lumber. On the Mallett building, you're still going to get the 2x8 scissor truss. On this building, folks, you get a 10-year workmanship warranty. We're going to tighten up that truss spacing and post spacing to, you get 3-foot truss spacing, 9-foot post spacing. That's going to help with the 145-mile-an-hour wind load, okay, that this building, the Mallett building, gets. So you get more wood, a lot more wood. Still going to get the 5-on-12 roof pitch. By the way, on the signature and the elite building, you get the 5-on-12 roof pitch. That's something our competitors just don't do, folks. They can do it, but the problem with them, nobody has their own truss plant like we do. So we can build it here, we can quality control it here. They have to buy it. And guess what? When they buy it, it's going to cost them more money, okay? Which is going to cost you more money. It's standard on our buildings, okay? So you still get the roof and wall insulation on the Mallett building. On the Mallett building, though, you get all the bells and whistles like gutters and gutter brushes. That's going to be a tremendous value if you add up the linear foot around your building. Gutters can go anywhere. With the gutter brushes, that's going to be, a $20 to $25 linear foot value that you get with this building. Now, the Mallett building, you're going to get the 6-inch concrete, which is 2.5 times stronger than the 4-inch. Now, also, you still get the 4,000 PSI, and we still put that microfiber in there. But this superior building, you're going to get the 6-inch slab, okay? And then on the Mallett building, of course, we're throwing in the post protectors on there. So at best, at the other two buildings, if I were you, I would at least, the signature you don't have to, you can add, I would add the post protectors. On the value though, I would add two things. If you like that special, I would for sure add roof and wall insulation and post protectors, okay? But you get that on this building. Insulated windows, continuous ridge vent, wainscoting. Like I said, this building is 145-mile-an-hour wind load, okay? Now, we do have the best building in the country. We have some specials on this building, okay? We'll go over the specials again at the end, but right now on the Mallett series, on the Elite Series building, you got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998, folks. That price alone is a very good deal for what you're getting in this building. Now, if you read right here, it says includes electrical package. That right there is worth $7,500 on this particular building. So if I was buying a building right now, I'd be thinking to myself, man, I'm already getting a good price. But then when you say I would have to at least spend $7,500 more, that makes that price even look better. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We got our specials right now are phenomenal. Y'all need to jump on this. You got a 40 by 50 by 12 for $53,950. And we're throwing in a $10,000 electrical package, basic electrical package on this building. A 40 by 60 by 12 for $61,598. Throwing in a $12,000 basic electrical package on these buildings. These 3 buildings, we're throwing in an electrical package, folks, just on these 3 buildings, okay? So heck of a deal, all the bells and whistles, best building in the country right here, all right? Now, the Elite different. What makes the Elite buildings different? Here we go. All right, first of all, we're using a massive amount, quite a bit of more wood. You know, like I said, we're tightening up our truss spacing and post spacing. It's going to make it a lot better. Scissor truss is standard on here, okay? 2 by 8 scissor truss, folks. It's just a superior building. You can see the common truss back there. This is our standard now. These scissor truss. You know, when you're talking red iron building or these tubular buildings, folks, you're at best going to get a 2-on-12 roof pitch, okay? On our value building, the one that I showed you on special, we'll go over them again, you get a 4-on-12. This is basically what our competitors do. They're going to do a 4-on-12. But remember, I told you our competitors' best building don't even touch our value building, and that's a true statement. Now, when you jump up to the Elite package, you get a 5-on-12 roof pitch. So you can see the difference here. This is basically, to be honest with you, they should be using butyl tape or something on this red iron when they install that, because manufacturer code, I believe, is a 3-on-12, minimum 3-on-12 roof pitch, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm accurate. 3-on-12 roof pitch. So you can see the difference, folks. And what usually happens is you don't have enough pitch on there. You got pine straws that's going to gather up there and they're going to sit, okay? And they might just happen to sit around a couple of screws. And then sooner or later they're going to dry rot that gasket, penetrate through that screw, and it's going to start leaking. All right, so that's where that 5-on-12 roof pitch just, and then look, for the ladies out there, it just looks a whole lot better. Everybody likes that nice pitch on that roof, okay? You get 2 roll-up doors here on the Elite package. You're gonna get, this is what I was talking about a while ago. You got that gutter brush and gutters. And this is a great design because when these leaves fall on there, it stays on top. The water can still go down in there and drain out. And every once in a while, you take these things out because they're like in 2-foot sections and they butt up against each other. You take these things out and shake them, and then you're ready to go. So great value here that we throw in on the Elite building, okay? Like I told you earlier, the 6-inch concrete slab is 2.5 times stronger than 4-inch. And not only that, but when you add that 4,000 PSI, our competitors use 3,000. When you add that 4,000, which we do standard here at Mallett, it's 33% stronger than your 3,000 PSI. So it's just a superior product here at Mallett, folks. We've been in business for 26 years. You know, you can trust us to do the right thing. We're always continuing to improve our processes. We want to make the best building, which we have. We want to continue to make it more superior than anybody else out there, and that's why we continue to improve. Okay, so in the Elite package, we're also going to give you control joints. So we'll go in there and cut you some control joints because we want that concrete to crack where we tell it to crack. This is what it looks like when it cracks with control joints. This is what it looks like when it cracks without control joints. Okay? Post protectors. You can see here that we have post protectors in that Elite package. Continuous ridge vent. You got a cap that goes on here, but then you're going to have a continuous ridge vent all the way through the top of your building, okay? And that's going to let that heat rises through the whole length of your building. That heat rises and can get out a whole lot easier with these with a continuous ridge vent, opposed to some of these other ones that you might see on. You'll see some of these on red iron like this. It's just kind of in one section where, you know, heat's going to rise wherever it is in that building. So it's very nice to have a continuous ridge vent up there. And we give you that in the Elite package. And this is where superior craftsmanship comes in. And this is something that we do here at Mallett, is our cable retention system. So what happens is, these are your posts on your building. And you can see that we tie aircraft cable from post to post all the way through this building, and then an X on the stop. Then we pour that slab on there, and that's going to help with the uplift protection on there. Even if that wind gets there, blows that roll-up door through, down, and it gets in there, you may lose some tin, but it's amazing unless you get a, of course, a twister through there. Then nobody wants to be around that. But that continuous cable retention system, superior. That's an elite package. Now, you can find all this information out on our spec sheets, okay? We have one for every building series. It's going to give you some qualifications. It's going to tell you a little bit about us. And we like that. We're proud of this. We want to show you this, and we show you, like 26 years in business as a licensed residential and commercial contractor. We are a professional engineer firm here. You'll meet Daryl here in a minute, okay? So watch this video, and then Daryl's coming up after the video, folks.
Unprecedented destruction.
To be unsurvivable.
Be the strongest storm to ever hit Louisiana.
Cameron, Louisiana, taking the brunt of that northern eye wall.
I'm here at Darla K Food Mart, where being the only convenience store for 50 miles carries the weight of survival for this town.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Daryl Fussell. I'm the engineer here at Mallett Building. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the wind load on these different packages that we sell here at Mallett. And also I want to talk to you a little bit about the Texas windstorm certification that we're involved in the projects in Texas that are eligible for that Texas windstorm insurance. And I was thinking about, whenever you send something into Texas windstorm, everything you do is through the computer. And I was thinking about how things have changed in the time that, in the 30-something years that I've been doing this. I can remember going to a printer to get blueprints made. Now, I don't know if you know why they call them blueprints, is because they used to be blue. Now they're black and white, but they used to be blue. And the way that they made those blueprints was a process that involved this big machine that used ammonia. And you would walk into this printer's office, and the smell of ammonia would almost knock you down. And I would always wonder how the guys that worked there, how they even breathed, but anyway, that was blueprints, and everything was hard copy. Whenever you turned in a set of plans to the permit office, you turned in a big 24 by 36 plan set to the permit department. And now we've moved to the point where you don't turn anything in hard copy to the permit office. Most of them, they deal with a website called mygov.com or something like that, and you'll upload the PDF of the plans that we send you. So everything is automated. A good friend of mine who has a printing business, at one time, printing out 24 by 36 sheets was a big part of his business, and he luckily saw how technology was changing, and he started printing banners. and signs, and he got into that business, and it was a good thing because about 5 years ago, all the state entities stopped requiring hard copies, and Harry didn't have anything to print, and so anyway, but back on that's just story time for Papa Darrell. So if you look at the value building, it's the basic design for a value building is 130 miles an hour and wind load. Now, if you live in an area where your address says that your wind load is greater than 130 miles an hour, then our sales specialist will do what they need to do to upgrade that building to that required wind load, and so there'll be an upcharge on that basic price for a value building. Now, you still get the trusses will be designed for 145 mile an hour category 2. So even our value building has added value compared to our competitors. And it's the same thing with the signature building. The basic wind design for a signature building is 130 miles an hour. Once again, if your address requires something greater than that, then you'll have to pay for that upgrade so that everything will be up to code. Now, if you purchase an elite building, then the entire building is designed for 145 miles per hour. Even if you live in an area that doesn't require 145 miles an hour, that's what you're getting. You're getting added value for that building. And I've shown it to you before, but in most areas along the coast, the difference between 145 miles an hour to 130 miles an hour, it might be 15 or 20 miles. That's all. And of course, what happens, and you know this from living here, when those hurricanes come on shore, they pack a punch, and every mile that they go, they weaken, and that's why that is the way it is. That's why the difference of 145 to 130 is there. Now, this Texas Windstorm program, the way it works is you fill out a form, or I fill it out for you. It's called a WPI-1, and all that form has in it is just your name and your address, and then me as the engineer, and then Mallett as the builder of the building. And then the Texas Windstorm computer program assigns a wind load based on that address. Now, you may have bought an elite building, and so I have certified your building at 145 miles an hour. But the Texas Windstorm program is going to say that your certification for insurance purposes is 133 or whatever your address calls for from the ASC7 maps that are used by the International Residential Code, International Building Code. So that's the first step. That's all you do is you put your name and your address and then the type of building it is, and that's all. And then we will inspect your building, and I'll come back and I will fill out this form on the computer, and it says, I acknowledge that I am a qualified inspector appointed by the Commissioner of the Department of Texas of Insurance to perform inspections in accordance with the Texas Insurance Code, and I affirm the following: the location of the structure, the type of inspection performed, which in our case is the entire building, and then it will say that this improvement conforms to a design that has a seal affixed by a professional engineer. That's the stamp plans that we give you. And then it'll say that the project was inspected in compliance with the wind load provisions of the International Residential Code 2018 edition or the International Building Code 2018. And so that's the form that we fill out. And then they will send you, I will send you your certification, which is just a one-page certification that says that you meet the requirements to be eligible for the Texas windstorm insurance. So that's a little bit of explanation on the wind loads of our buildings, the difference, and how we involve that in the process. Thanks. See you next week.
Thanks, Daryl. That was some good information. So picking back up where we left off, look, if you're out there and you're shopping around, we'll beat anybody's deal, apples to apples, and we'll beat it by $1,000. So keep that in mind, folks. So go through our scorecard like we always like to do. Southern Style F, Raw Build F, Precision. They actually got two checks now. I'll give them 2 checks, but they still got an F. Ranger Buildings F, Beck F, Fortify Sulphur F, Apache F, Branded Buildings F, RJM Construction F, and of course Southern Style. We don't really know what's going on with Southern Style. We know some things changed over there, but don't help them out because they still got an F. Now the only people up here, folks, is with an A plus 100 is Mallett Buildings, us here at Mallett. You can trust us. You can have peace of mind when you do business with us. Why? Because we've been in business for 26 years. We're going to be here for the long haul. I'm not sure how somebody can give a 10-year workmanship warranty when they only been in business for a year. That don't make sense to me, folks. All right? Now, let's go over our specials one more time because they're so good. I like to say them again. You got the value building. You know that our value building, our competitor's best building, is not as good as our value building, okay? Plain and simple. We got the value building, a 30 by 40 by 12 for $25,999, $21.67 a square foot, folks. You got a 30 by 60 by 12 for $35,999, $19.99 a square foot. You got a 40 by 80 by 12 for $63,999, that's $19.99 a square foot. Incredible deals right here, folks. I'm telling you right now, the best building for the best price. Right here, building specialist downstairs waiting on you to call. This special is going to end at the end of the week. And don't forget, you got your elite package. We got 3 elite specials going on right now. Here they are. You got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998. We're throwing in an basic electrical package. You got a 40 by 50 by 12 for $53,950. We're throwing a basic electrical package in with this deal, folks. On that particular building, that's a $10,000 value. You got a 40 by 60 by 12 for $61,598. Folks, I'm telling you, just don't get any better than this. You got the best building in the industry for these prices, and we're throwing in an electrical package for you. Just incredible, okay? Remember, if you want to see a building, we have ambassadors out there. If you want to see a building, all you got to do is tell our building specialist, say, hey, I want to see a building, talk to a customer. They're going to find out where you're at, and they're going to hook you up with an ambassador near you, and all you're going to do is go to a scheduled showing, and they're going to show you, and you can ask them questions about us. We'll set that up for you, okay? Don't forget our new program we're rolling out with it today. You know, as usual, we're going to give you $200 when you send a friend to us to buy a building. We're going to give you $200. But if you do that 10 times, we're going to cook for you, we're going to let you fish, and we're going to let you stay in a cabin and it's a great time, beautiful place, and you can catch a lot of fish and eat good, folks. That's our new program we're running out with. This is the cabin right here. That's our show today. We really appreciate your business. We'll see you tomorrow.